Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on Reading Sprints tonight. I don't know where to point, so I'm just going to keep my hands down, but I'm joined by Lizzie on one of the two sides of me. I don't know where you are, Lizzie. To me, you're there, but whether you're there to other people, I don't know. And we're also joined by Lotti. So it's your channel is on your name, isn't it, Lizzie? Is that right, LizzielsElf? And Lotti, you're Lotti's library, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. And it's nice to see both. So I've seen you both do stuff obviously on YouTube, but it's nice to actually talk to you in real life.
Yeah.
It feels like you already know people, doesn't it, when you watch their videos?
I
But
know.
you realise you've never had a real conversation with them before. So I've just got a few comments popping up, so I'll just go to the comments, and then we'll find out what you two are reading. And if anyone wants to let us know what you are reading in the comments, please do as well. Hi, Stephen. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Marlos. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Kat. Oh, sorry, loads of comments popping up. Jumping all over the place. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Kasha. So many people here tonight. This is really cool. Hi, Reka. Again, sorry about the pronunciation. Please tell me if I get it wrong. I do that every time. I think I say Reka's name differently every time I say it. And hi, Liam. Oh, that's loads of people, actually, that I haven't... Some have come across before, some I haven't. So that's really nice. And Laura, hi. Thank you for joining us. So I was chatting a little bit to Lotti and Lizzie before, so I'm dying to know what you two are reading. Lizzie, do you want to tell us what you're going to be doing during the sprints?
I can do. So I'm doing a vlog at the moment as a continuation of my last vlog, which is spooky middle grades to get into spooky season. I'm wearing my ghost cardigan. I can't even see where my camera is, but
so
it's
cute.
a ghost. There we go. It's a very ghosty cardigan. Anyway, so I have like a selection. So
That's
I think
a good thing to do for sprints.
Well, I think I'm going to start off by listening to Deep Waters by Catherine Arden, which is the Small Spaces continuation, and play Animal Crossing because I need to get my Animal Crossing fix in today because all that jazz. But I'm also supposed to be reading The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones, and I also have The Monsters of Brookhaven.
Oh my gosh.
All of those books are on my list, particularly the Small Spaces one. Last week in sprints, people kept talking about Small Spaces, and I was like, I really need that book. I think I'm going to have to get it before October, which is Saturday, isn't it? I probably need to order that.
Yes.
I think I might need to read it next month. Oh, I really like that mixture of books. I'm tempted to get all my middle grades out now after hearing that. Lotti, how about you? Have you got a plan?
I am going to carry on with Fairy Tale by Stephen King.
Oh, cool. How much have you read of it so far?
I'm 193 pages in, and it's only just started to get like interesting. It's very slow burn, but it was interesting slow burn, if that makes any sense.
That sounds very Stephen King, definitely.
Yeah, I'm very excited of where it's going next. So
cool. Is it quite a fantasy feel, that one, or is it like horror fantasy?
The first 200 pages, I'd say no.
Okay.
But it's only just starting to get into the sort of supernatural stuff, so very intrigued.
Oh, cool. I'm really looking forward to reading that one. I think I might get the audiobook. I don't actually have a physical copy of it yet. It's one of those that I either would have ordered 5 copies or 0, and I managed to do 0.
Yeah, I got mine from the library, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that instead. Save myself buying it.
I have to rep the library because I'm a librarian.
Librarians are the best people. I feel like I had a miscalling of not becoming a librarian. I always look longingly at people doing that job. So I've decided I'm going to read My Killer Vacation. I've just started reading it, read 2 pages or something, so I have no opinions yet. You can see Beetlejuice sticking out my book. My Beetlejuice bookmark's kind of leering at you. Sorry about that. I'm also going to do some productivity stuff. So I've got a short story to edit, which is due tomorrow, so no pressure at all. And I'm hoping that I might get a little bit of writing done too. So if anyone wants to let us know what you are reading in the comments, there seems to be quite a few of you, so I'm going to work through those now. Hi, Caroline. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, Ali. I just assumed from the cat. Oh, yeah, cat astrophic Ali. Got it. Understand. Sorry, I'm really bad at stuff like that anyway. Given the choice between the 2 words, of course, I picked the wrong one. So, Ali, I'll try and remember that. Hi, do we have any idea how long we'll be live for? I'm quite happy for Lotti and Lizzie for you to do as long as you want. I will be here till about 10 o'clock. I usually fit in about 3 sprints, and normally the last one is a little bit shorter. So 2 of about 40 minutes and the last one about half an hour, just because I'm normally exhausted by that point. Oh, I haven't read that one. I'm kind of working my way through V. Schwab's books. Am I right in thinking that the Archived is one of the older ones that kind of got re-released? I'm not sure. Do you two, either of you know anything about that? It's like ringing some bells. I feel like I knew something, but
I've not
obviously
heard of
forgotten.
this one.
Maybe
I've
Marla,
only read
she can...
2 V Schwab, so.
What were your thoughts about them? Did you enjoy them?
I loved Addie LaRue, and I thought Gallant was just okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, I really enjoyed Gallant. I haven't read Addie LaRue because I feel like it might be too sad for me. If a book is sad, I'm like instantly worried about reading it.
It was quite sad, but it did make me cry.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I didn't like Addie LaRue. I know I'm in the minority. I know. It just wasn't for me. She was trying to be too flowery with her writing, and I was just like,
no, I get that.
because the only one I'd read before Addie LaRue was the Villain series.
Oh yeah, I love those. Is it Vicious and
Vicious?
Vengeful?
Yeah, I've only read Vicious, and I really enjoyed Vicious, and I've got Vengeful, and I was like, those were fantastic. Those were brilliant. And then I read Addie LaRue, and I was just like, oh no. And then I read Gallant, and I was like, this is fine. I like it a lot more than Addie LaRue. But I also was like, but this is supposed to be YA, and it feels like a middle grade. But like that's a whole different thing. But like, yeah, I don't know. I feel with like V Schwab, it's like a swing and a miss for me, like most of the time, which is really sad. But I know like most people loved Addie LaRue, so I know that I'm in the minority there.
It's interesting. Her style's very different, and she writes for such a range of audiences. And I think that even like her voice, she can shift. Like she's just like a chameleon when it comes to writing, which I think is amazing. I hope to be like that one day, that people can just pick up like slightly different angles of my personality and interests. I think that's really cool. I personally like her Cassidy Blake books the best so far. I just love them. Like creepy middle grade set in some of my favorite cities. They're just awesome, in my opinion. Let's see who else we've got. Oh, cool. So according to Lotti, so far you're making good choices, but it may be a slow burn. Just bear that in mind. Ah, cool. Aveline, is that one of the ones that you're reading, Lizzie? Aveline?
Yeah, it's the third one. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called now. But this is number 2 in the series, and I'm really excited to read this one, and I'm really excited for the next one. Because I really like Phil Hicks' writing, and The Haunting of Evelyn Jones is set on a Cornish town. So I was reading it in a Cornish town, so that added to like everything.
Cool.
Nice.
And this one's set in Bristol, and I can't remember where the third one's going to be set, but I think for spooky middle grades, these ones are some of my favorites so far, so I can definitely recommend.
Oh, awesome. They always get recommended to me, like when any website you go on says, I think you're going to like this, that always comes up. So I'm surprised actually I haven't picked it up by now. Oh, I liked Through the Woods. Let us know what you think of that. It's quite strange, I think, the way it's like these little vignettes of stories. Have you read that as well, Lizzie?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Have you read it, Lotti?
No.
It's not what I expected. It's very like dark, kind of visceral artwork that kind of shows this, I don't know, it's quite creepy, quite gory in places. And the stories are very dark and very short. So yeah, it's a good one. I'd recommend it if you like graphic novel. Wicked As You Wish. That sounds fun and familiar. Anybody know who that's by? Rings a bell with me because I do these sprints. I feel like I see these names of books.
Yeah.
Killjoy. Oh, I haven't read Killjoy yet. I've read all the others. Absolutely loved them. I probably need to get to Killjoy. Silent Patient. That sounds like an adult thriller to me, just a guess. Oh, cool. The Archive's making the rounds at the minute. So many comments. I'm trying to get through everyone. Hi, Lauren. Oh, The Fortunes of Jaded Women. I like that title. I haven't heard of that before. Yeah, I mean, finding something that is comforting that you want to read is a good idea. And I think we're at the bottom of the comments. Oh, we're not. Hang on. One more. Rinch Pico. See, instantly interested. I think that I've read a couple of things by Rinch Pico and really liked them. I think that their writing style is really creepy and creative. So that's always good in my book. Right. So I think we're going to go to sprints there. I'm just going to tag where I got up to. So feel free to let us know during the sprints if you are, what you're reading, what you're doing, and we will have a little chat afterwards. I'm going to do, I think, 40 minutes for this one. I am going to use the kitty, so bear in mind that It is going to meow at you in 40 minutes, so please just beware of that. I feel like it scares people every time, and I can't stop it. It's just so cute. Just look at his little face. And when I put it up, you can look at it and tell me it's not the cutest thing. Okay, so I'm going to go to sprint. I'm going to mute all of us, and we will see you on the other side. So I hope everybody has some nice productive reading. Hello, everyone. How did we get on? Lotti, how about you? Did you have a good session?
Yeah. I think I read like 20-something pages, which isn't a lot, but I was distracted for some of it.
I don't know. It is for Stephen King. I feel like I read his books really slowly. Like the thing about the
Yeah.
style of his writing, but it doesn't feel like you can skim over it. I feel like it's like a read every
Yeah.
word kind of style.
Yeah. It's getting really interesting now, though. So
Oh, good. I'm glad
very
you're enjoying.
intrigued.
I'm glad you pushed through the bit where you're not,
Yeah.
where the pace is a bit slower. How about you, Lizzie?
Yeah, I listened to a couple of chapters of Dark Waters. It's really
Excellent.
creepy, and I realised that I'm in the middle of nowhere by myself.
Oh,
And
fun.
like, just before the sprint, the dog started barking, so I
Oh
had to go
no.
over and check the entire house because my brain went, "I'm gonna die."
Oh
This is how
god.
this is the start of a horror film, and I'm just like, why do I do this to myself? And I'm reading middle grade horror, and something that's really struck me by doing this vlog is that middle grade horror is scarier than adult horror because it doesn't rely on like the gore or the jump scares. It's so like psychological, and I'm sitting there going,
Yeah, I love middle grade horror. It's interesting you said that. I've not really thought about it that way. I've just realised I've left the kitty on the screen. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of it. Yeah, I think it's interesting YA as well because I think that you kind of sit in between those two spaces and you're like, oh, how far can I push it? How gruesome can I be? And I got to write an adult horror short story recently for that Lurking in the Dark anthology that I mentioned. And it was great. I just kind of went, oh, I can just be as gory as I want. Like, it's a werewolf story. So I just like had at it with the entrails and stuff. It was really fun.
Nice.
So I hope people appreciate that and I don't scare any teenagers that decide to read it. So I edited my short story and sent it off, which I was really pleased how quickly that came together. So I got to read a little bit of this as a reward. And I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know what to make of it really because I haven't read any Tessa Bailey before, and I think that she's more predominantly romance normally, as far as I can tell. Have you read any, Lotti?
I've not read from her, but I know of a few of her books, and I think it is pretty much just like contemporary romance.
Yeah, so this one has a murder in it because I thought I'd read this as like a fluffy thing, kind of not thinking about the title before bed the other night, and then it ended on dead body bit, and I was like, oh, maybe just before bed that was a bad idea.
Oh god.
So yeah, it's like one of those where I'm trying to figure out what it is. You're like not sure where it sits as a genre. I think I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm just like getting my head around, okay, murder plus maybe steamy romance, and it's not my usual thing. So don't know yet. We'll see. Let's see how people in the comments are doing. There seem to have been quite a few since we were on. I'll take that banner thing off as well. See, I'm excellent at the tech side of this. Absolute pro. Let me have a look. Oh, lots of comments. So... Oh, I don't know what Undoctored is. That sounds interesting. Have either of you heard of that?
No.
If I was going to guess genre, I'd say non-fiction, but I have no idea really.
one of the bad things about sprints is how many books I add to my to my list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I already have too many books that are unread. Oh well, we'll add some more.
It's part of what we do, isn't it? The book community thing is just like supporting authors. We authors appreciate it, but maybe your bank balances appreciate it slightly less. Hi, Peter. I enjoyed Raising Hell a lot. That has that definite Buffy feel that I'm always craving from YA books. Yeah, bedtime's probably not the best time for reading. I can sympathise with that one. My toddler goes to bed earlier though, so I've already been there and done that tonight. Oh, so that's why people are reading the archive. I haven't heard about Schwabbalong. How do we? It was really hard to say that, Schwabbalong. How do we take part in Schwabbalong? That sounds like something I should be doing because I haven't heard that one.
I think they have a Twitter. I think it's Tori and Jem that run that.
Excellent. I might need to join that because I need to get my V Schwab reading up. Oh, good. Glad I got it right. Yeah, it is really creepy. I kind of read it over a couple of days, and it was one of those books that kind of bleeds into your life where you start to feel a bit unsettled when you read too much of it, which I like. I don't know about anybody else, but hi, Katrina. Ooh, we spread, and I'm invested. I don't know anything about that. Is that, I'm guessing, being Katrina, that it's probably a horror or a thriller, but tell us more. I don't think I've read anything by Ian Reid. Should I, is the question. Hi, thank you for joining us. All comments jumping up. Yeah, easy, cozy reads are sometimes just exactly what you need. Oh, sorry. This is my husband who is still decorating. I think I've been updating people on the progress. The shelves are now built. He's still now taping 1,000 lights in red and orange underneath each shelf. So I will be able to show you in future ones. This is why I'm doing them all downstairs at the minute, because during sprints is the only time he's got to sort my room out. Oh, sorry about the dog. If it's becoming an issue, please tell me and I'll choose an obnoxious dog instead, just to redress the balance a little bit. Sure, I can do that. Yeah, middle grade and teen horror, it's interesting. The things, I don't know, does it make you tap into that place of what scared you when you were a kid? I've just read the Steintingler's book recently, which is very specifically middle grade. And some of the stories really, really messed with my head. Like, especially because the short stories, I feel like R.L. Stein kind of went, doesn't matter if I do something horrible to this main character because there's no consequences because the story ends. So some of them was brutal. Like, the main characters really have a bad time. Yeah, I kind of like that. Oh, I guessed it might be Adam Kay. I should have said that. Interesting. I haven't read anything to do with Adam Kay. I know who he is and what the books are. I haven't read any of them. How about you two? I kind of read true crime if I'm reading nonfiction. Yeah. So are either of you nonfiction readers?
Not really. I don't really read a lot of nonfiction, but Adam Kay's been quite popular at the libraries, so that's sort of how I know of him.
Yeah, I see his books in a lot of, I'm in Waterstones all the time, and I see his books in a lot of Waterstones and Indies too. How about you, Lizzie? Are you a non-fiction reader?
I'm not, and I want to get more into it because I've read a couple of non-fictions, but I just don't really. I like to read fiction to get away from my ordinary life. So sometimes reading like non-fiction, and I read This Is Going to Hurt a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed it because it was really very humorous. And as my mum is chronically ill, reading it from like a junior doctor's perspective, like it's quite funny because my mum is quite famous in the hospital that she goes to for making junior doctors cry.
Oh no!
To like explain to her that she needs to chill out because like they are most likely at the end of like a 12 to 15 hour shift, like cut them like some slack. And like my mum's like, I'm not doing it to be mean. Like I'm in just like in a lot of pain and a lot of this, that, and the other. And I'm always just like, after watching like Adam, after reading and then watching the BBC adaptation as well, I really enjoyed it. It's one of the non-fictions that I can say that I enjoyed.
Yeah. I tend to like it if it has a bit of a narrative feel. Like I've read a couple recently. Don't Call It a Cult. I found really interesting, and I think if it taps into one of those like niche interests you've got, and I am really interested in cults and the psychology of it, that was really good. And one called Hell's Half Acre, which is about America's first serial killer family, but also is like about the American West, which I'm quite fascinated by. And that kind of read like a history of the American West as much as about serial killers. And it just somehow was like two of these really niche things that I like came together in one book. So I think nonfiction for me has to be something I'm really into, which unfortunately is quite a macabre subject. And that doesn't sound good for me. They're all about serial killers and cults. That's just all my nonfiction shelf. Oh, yeah, because I don't know that anybody's seen Kasha has been translating a movie script and only been given a few days to do it. And then they said, oh, by the way, we've sent you the wrong one. So can you just translate this other film as well? So after working flat for 4 days, she then did another 4. I think they may have paid her for both. Please tell me, Kasha, if I'm wrong, because if not, that would be so upsetting. But
yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's
just
really
make sure you send the right script to somebody. Come on.
Terrible planning.
Oh, cool. Okay. If this isn't open to everyone on Discord, please let me know because I would love to join that. Okay, I'll check out the Twitter too. Thank you. Excellent. So I think we are through the comments. So I don't know now if anybody's got any recommendations of non-fiction that you think any of us three would like, please put them in the comments because I don't know. I think we could all be convinced to read a bit more non-fiction, maybe. Particularly me. I feel like I'm craving it, but I kind of don't know what to read next. I want to. Sorry, what were you
I recently read Jeanette McCurdy's book. I'm Glad My Mom Died, and that was really good.
That title's quite brutal, isn't it? I feel like there must be a story. I vaguely know the story behind that. Is she the one that it was something to do with her mom? Like she kind of pushed her into in
to
her career and stuff
acting.
like
Yeah. Her mom was like a huge narcissist, and
Oh god.
when I listened to the audiobook of it, and while I was reading it, I just thought, I don't know whether I should laugh or cry, because it was the way she tells it was really funny, but the actual subject matter was just so awful, like everything that happened to her, and all the problems that it like built up to in her adult life as well. But it was such an interesting read.
I'm
First
quite
non-fiction I've
tempted.
read in a while.
Okay. Does she read it herself, the audiobook?
Yeah, she's the one who reads
Oh,
it. I think
okay.
that's why I liked it so much. Like, if the author has like read the book.
Yeah, I'm quite tempted by that. I have got an Audible credit that's kind of, when you see it sitting there, you're like, I need to use this on
Yeah.
something. So that might be the one. That sounds really good.
Was
I'm
it on
just gonna.
script,
It
Lotti?
is on script. That's
Yeah,
how I got it. Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
an audiobook thing?
Sorry.
Sorry, is that for listening to audiobooks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They're audiobooks, and I think there's some ebooks as well.
there's like
Okay.
ebooks, magazines. You have to be kind of careful though, because Script has got some like scanned in PDF
Okay.
versions of stuff, which is obviously not the correct way of getting them.
Yeah.
No.
I predominantly use it for audiobooks because they do have a pretty good library.
Okay.
And considering it's what, $10.99 a month, like you can, it's
Yeah.
basically, it's not unlimited, which is what it sells itself on, because it blocks you from certain like popular downloads and stuff after a while. But it is, I think it's really, really, really good. It's
Okay. I'll look into that.
my audiobook listening for sure.
I signed up for it purely to listen to I'm Glad My Mom Died. So
Nice.
Maybe I'll sign up and I don't know whether you can do trials or something. That's sometimes a good way to get
it's
into
a
it,
month
isn't it?
free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See how many you can listen to in 1 month and then get rid of it. Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to look into that. Thank you. I'm really tempted to try and blitz through all of the other books that I haven't read yet. Yeah, I mean, don't call it a cult, certainly. I read it and thought if you put this in a Hollywood film, people would not believe it, because some of the things this cult leader got people to do and convince them was normal behaviour was just absolutely bizarre. So yeah, I completely agree. Can you recommend any Brits that you think, based on the really weird niches that I've explained, if there's any you think I would like, or any of the other two on the sprints with us? Yeah, same Caroline. It just sounds like a really interesting insight, doesn't it, into a person's life? I think I'm going to have to get it. Yeah, the tragedy might be difficult, but I think probably overall worth it, Lotti.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially because I'm like the iCarly generation, and I grew up
Yeah.
like watching her
Yeah,
on TV,
exactly.
so it was weird. It was just weird.
I was too old to watch iCarly, but I
Yeah.
still do anyway. So yeah, I totally know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yes, I'm so glad, Kasha. I mean, just, I know stuff like this happens, doesn't it, when people are rushed, and that person who sent the wrong thing probably feels really bad now. But yeah, at least you got paid twice. It just means an extra miserable few days of slogging away. Non-fiction graphic novels. It's not even something I've considered. That's
I didn't even know it was
really
a thing.
interesting. No.
Oh, now Britt said that, I read one called Blankets, which is
Okay.
it's a graphic novel. I didn't realize that it was nonfiction, but it was kind of like a memoir style of this guy's life growing up, and in like Christian summer camps and stuff,
Okay.
and how now as a grown up looking back, like how toxic that environment was. And it was
Okay,
like,
that's interesting.
kind of like the way they were saying it with these like small kind of like stories, but it was based in the winter and it was all like really cozy. But I totally forgotten about that, about non-fiction graphic novels, because it was really, really interesting. I'm never going to pick that graphic novel up again, ever again in my life. But it was good for what it was. But as like not a non-fiction lover, like it was probably the only way I'd ever read that book, with it being a graphic novel.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit more accessible, isn't it? Non-fiction it takes me ages to read it. It can be quite dense. Invisible Women. I'm going to write that down if I can find a pen. Yep, I'm going to write that. Invisible Women. Cool. Like getting some recommendations. Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. So probably we do all need to read this book. Yeah, definitely. Oh, so many things popping up. Yeah, I've just discovered that my library does this recently as well. I saw a poster in the lift the other day. I was like, how did I not know this? But generally, I'm in the children's bit of the library because I go straight there with my toddler, and he can only tolerate so much library before he just becomes too loud to be in a library. Strange non-fiction just sounds like my particular niche. Thank you, Britt. That's very kind. The Exorcist Diary. Okay, yep, that's it. That's what I need. Thank you. That's exactly the kind of thing I want. Yep. Okay, sold. Thank you, Laura. That's exactly what I'm going to get. I've got a real list now coming together. This is awesome. Yeah, I like that. I like being scared. Knowing it's real as well is pretty wild when you're being really scared. Mouse?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of mouse.
Okay,
Yeah.
jotting these down, and I'm going to screenshot all this later as well. Yeah, I think you might need it. Sorry, Reiko, about that. It's not an easy read. It's really good, but definitely not. I kind of thought it might be a bit cuter from the cover, and it's not particularly cute. Know my name. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna add that to the list as well. Okay. Yeah, I think scary is more my niche, but I'm happy to try different stuff. Okay. Okay, I think we've got to the end of the comments there. Awesome. Thank you for the recommendations. I really appreciate that. Sorry for hijacking the chat with my need to read a bit more nonfiction. So I think we'll do another 40-minute sprint. I'm going to try and do a little bit of writing and sorting through some edits in this one, and hopefully read a little bit more of this because I'm intrigued and still trying to figure out. Like, do you ever find that when you're reading a book, you're like, I don't know what you are yet. I need to read a bit more. I make a decision on whether I like you or not. So yeah, I think I'm going to. But yeah, what are you saying, Lizzie?
That cover does not give a lot away either. It looks like to me like a romance. Like, it doesn't look super obvious.
Yeah, they've tried to give some clues, like he's got tattoos, so he's dark and mysterious, and he's got dark hair. Look, so he's definitely a bad boy. Like, like it's kind of there's some things that they think they're hinting at, but I don't know. And there's a skull on his tattoo. Look, so definitely like extra bad boy. I know.
A rebel.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the clues, but it's pink too, so who knows? I'll keep you updated whether the skulls or the pink are kind of more accurate. So far, it's a bit of both, so maybe that is a good cover. I've seen quite a lot of these kind of cutesy covers around, and I'm not sure. I haven't read a book with one yet, so this is my first kind of foray into like pretty illustrated covers. So no, it'll be an interesting. It could be a new awakening, or it could be like a whole branch of fiction I'm just not going to read. But I'll let you know in the next one. I'll try and read a bit more. Okay, so thank you too for the chats. I'm enjoying it, and I will just get the kitty set up. If it upsets the dog on the next one, please tell me, and I'll try and do something else. And yes, I'll see you all on the other side. Thank you for joining us and for sticking with us for the sprint so far. Hello, everyone. I'll just remove the little kitty. How do we do?
Oh.
Let us know in the comments how you got on in your sprints. How did you two get on? Lizzie, how about you?
I did pretty well considering I had animals jumping on me that entire sprint.
I did notice I was engrossed.
My mum's black cat came in, jumped on me, decided to stick his claws in me.
Of course.
And then she decided she wanted to be on my lap, so she's made herself comfortable. She's not allowed on the furniture unless you're on it, so she's on you, not the furniture. I told Mum that's a really terrible idea, but I'm not going to argue. And I'm now 98 pages into Bewitching. I was only on page 12 before. I don't do maths though, so I can't figure that out, but I know it's a lot.
That's a lot of pages. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's really good. It's still in like the setup like start stage, but with it being a middle grade, I kind of know where the story's going, but I'm really enjoying it anyway. I just like the whole vibe of it, and it's all witchy, and I'm like, this is the kind of like cozy, spooky that I'm really into at the moment.
Excellent. That sounds really perfect. How about you, Lotti? How's Fairy Tale going?
It's going well. I read another 20 pages, and it's starting to feel quite sinister, but also wholesome. Very much like a Grimm's fairy tale. There's a character in it who is just so sweet, and I feel like something really bad's going to happen to her. So I'm terrified. But I also had animals jumping all over me that sprint as well. I've got 3 kittens, and they all came in just at the start of the sprint and were just running everywhere, but they've all gone now.
Just giving you a minute to talk.
Yeah.
Well, so far I've not had any toddler interruptions, which is usually when they'll start screaming on the monitor. So I managed to do a little bit of it's hard to explain, but I'm doing this thing where I write a chapter outline as I go along when I'm writing something, just to keep track, because I can't keep it all in my head. So I've just been kind of writing a chapter outline and thinking, oh gosh, there's more missing chapters than I realised. I need to do a lot of work on this book. And then I rewarded myself with a bit more of this. So we've got to another perspective now. So I've gone from the girl to the guy who is a bounty hunter who's kind of come in to investigate this murder. And yeah, I quite liked his voice. So I was interested. I haven't read that many romance things where there's sort of both members of the relationship's perspectives. And yeah, some of the descriptions that he uses of her body, I was a bit like, oh, okay. Okay, you said that. Yeah, you thought that in your head. Okay. Yeah. I suppose, normally you don't let people in your head, so I'll give him some slight credit. But yeah, I think I could enjoy this one. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm reading, whether it's like a murder mystery or really steamy romance. So I think possibly both, and I'm just going to have to deal with that. I just realised I've left that banner on again. That's what I always do. Okay, back to the comments. Elena said hi. Hi, Elena. Good afternoon. I always think it's funny when people say good afternoon because I forget, obviously, that we're all over the world, different people. It's nearly my bedtime, so it's 9:20 UK time. I'm starting to wind down for the day. Oh, cupcake over there sounds very cute. Is that as cute as it sounds? I wonder. You'll have to let us know in the comments, Elena. My Mechanical Romance. That's a good title by Olivia Blake. Yeah, that's like the perfect palette cleanser. I like that title. I also like My Chemical Romance, so I don't know if that's any kind of
band.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, is that just a play on words? I kind of want to listen to My Chemical Romance now. I was singing one of their songs in the car earlier. My toddler was looking at me like, I was sort of changing the lyrics as I went and realized that's not appropriate. I'm just going to skip that line. Yeah, I probably need to introduce him to like some sense of My Chemical Romance to get the musical education going. Oh, awesome. After the Bite. Lindsay Sands, does she write paranormal something? I feel like I might have read one of their books before. And After the Bite sounds a bit... Is that vampires? Yeah, if it's vampires, I'm kind of immediately interested. That's probably why I've read some of them before. Well, I think for the last sprint, if it's okay with you two, I think I'm going to go for half an hour, just because I can feel myself starting to get tired and like everything I'm saying is just all running together. I have got to do a little bit more work on that short story. I just need to do some like housekeeping type stuff. I'm going to try and read a little bit more of this and sort of make some decisions about how I feel about it. So let us know in the comments what you're planning to do in last sprint. I hope you two continue to enjoy your books. And yeah, maybe we can just have a nice chilled last sprint, and then we'll do a little chat to wrap up at the end. It's gone by really fast tonight. Like, I can't believe it's nearly the end of it already. But yeah, I've enjoyed the chats. Thank you both. We can have another little one when we end as well. Oh, poor Kasha. Come on, you can do it. You're so close now. Unless they say to you, we're really sorry, but that was the wrong one as well. I think that you might have to just, I don't know, something extreme. If anything goes wrong this time, just keep on going, Kasha. You can do it. We believe you can do this. Okay, right. I'm going to grab my other laptop, and get everything set up. I just need to change this one to 30 minutes. So I'll do that. And then we will see you on the other side. Hope everyone has a really good last sprint. Hello, everyone. Hope the kitty didn't make too many people jump. I'm just going to unmute. Oh, sorry to remuted Lotti. Sorry, not intentional, I swear.
Silence.
Can you imagine? So how did you two get on? Lizzie, how about you? How was that one?
I'm nearly at the end now.
Oh, awesome.
I read about 100 pages, and it just, you know
Wow.
how middle grades sort of like hit, and then they just don't stop until they end. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to finish this before I go to bed because it's just really, really good, and the story's gone the direction I thought it was gonna go, but I'm loving it even more. And this one, I don't think is as scary as the first one. Like the first one really, really spooked me. Like genuinely, it unlocked a new fear. Apparently, I'm scared of scarecrows.
Oh,
Who knew? But like this one, it's like it's just a little bit more charming and a little bit more like drawing on like very familiar folk tales of witches. So
cool.
yeah,
Remind
I'm
us
really
who's the author of that one.
sorry.
The author of that one reminds. I'm just going to jot it
Oh,
down.
it's Phil Hicks.
Oh yeah, cool. Oh, so
I'll
many
have to
books
check
on
it
this
out. It
guy.
sounds really good.
Yeah, it does. How about you, Lotti? How's Fairy Tale going?
I think I read another 30 pages.
Oh, speed it
And
up.
yeah, it's really getting into the meat of it now. It's sort of following like a quest, I guess. The main character is this dog, and the dog's really old, so he's trying to like save the dog from dying, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just getting really good now.
Would you say it's quite different from other Stephen King stuff you've read? Because based on what I've heard, it doesn't sound like anything I've read before of his.
Yeah, of what I've read, it's almost completely different because it's got that fantastical plot line, but the first 200 or so pages was very similar to other things he's written as well. So
Okay.
I feel like it's a unique one.
Oh, interesting. I'm intrigued. I need to decide whether I want the physical copy or the audiobook. But yeah, I think maybe after spooky season, I've got loads of stuff I want to read during spooky season. First, I'm gonna go through the comments, but then I want to ask you two, so you can be thinking about this, what you're planning to read during spooky season, if there's anything you're desperate to, and also what readathons you're doing, because I'm feeling that slight anxiety of there are lots, and I want to know what do I need to prioritize. So let's have a look at the comments so far. Oh, Cash isn't so much pain from typing. Please kill me then. I'm assuming that's referring to me saying if they send you the wrong one again. I'm sure it won't happen, but you know, just be prepared. I will not kill you, Cash. We'll just keep supporting you and it'll be fine. I can't remember what that was in response to, but if it was important, please remind me. Oh, okay. Night, Kasha. If you've already gone, then, you know, you won't hear me say this, but never mind. I think quite a few people might have gone. There's still lots of people watching, but the comments have gone a little quiet. So if you want to tell us anything about what you're planning to read in October or readathons you're going to join in with, then please let us know in the comments. But otherwise, I'm going to grill you too. So the ones I've got down on my list, and I kind of want to do them all, I'm a bit scared, are Spoopathon, Vampathon, which is run by people like Jodie from Vanilla Moon. Just looking at my list because I've written these down. Halloween Weekend, which sounds fun, like with some weekend reading sprints. And what am I missing? Gothtober is the other one. So how about you, Lotti? Do you have, obviously Spoopathon has your true heart because you're involved with that one. Are there any others that you're going to try and do as well, or are you kind of concentrating on Spoopathon?
I'm also going to try and do Gothtober. It's my first Gothtober, so I'm very excited.
Cool.
And there's also the Royal Readathon as well, which I've been umming and ahhing about.
Yeah, I didn't have that on my list.
That's by the Becca Fowl.
Okay.
It's got two teams this time. There's Team Villain or Team Princess. And the prompts for Team Villain are very tempting. So I don't know if I want to do that one as well.
Sorry, who's going to be a lot. Who's that one run by?
The Becca Fowl.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try, I think, and match my TBR to like all of them, but then not worry too much about whether I'm actually ticking them off and just enjoy myself. How about you, Lizzie? Do you have a readathon or two that you're going to join with?
Yeah, so my housemate Hannah runs Gothtober, so I'd be remiss if I didn't say Gothtober. I'm joining in quite a lot of the events. It's my second Gothtober, and I really always enjoy it. I'm also probably going to do Spoopathon, but without the prompts, I have no idea. Like I have got a giant October spooky season TBR. Like, genuinely, I counted all the books. And I was like, I have nearly like over 50 books I want to try and read spooky season. So like, I'm sure some of them will fit Spookathon anyway.
Yeah.
I have no idea which team I'm going to join, like genuinely, because I was like, what?
Librarians!
I know. I don't know. And
I'd say I'm joining the librarians if that sways you at all, and I've done it. You might want to be against me or for me. I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know. I think
I relate to librarians, so I feel like I should be one, really. So yeah, I can't pick any other title but that. Sorry, Lizzie,
I think
I
I'll
got
just
distracted.
check the prompts and see which ones work. I think that's just how I'm going to do it. But the only other readathon I'm going to do is the Hocus Pocus readathon, which is run by someone on Twitter and has a blog.
I'm like crying now. There's like 6 I want to do.
And I'm going to be on Team Sanderson Sisters because that's the only place for me, you know.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm writing these down with like fear in my heart. Yeah, I'm going to be. I said I'd join one of the Gothtober sprints. So I definitely really want to stick to those prompts and Spookathon. And I think I might have said I'll go on a Vampathon sprint as well. So probably that one. So Halloween weekend sounds quite chilled, and I think that it's just people getting together and doing sprints at weekends generally. So I might try and pop onto that. And then the other 2 that we've just said. So who knows? I feel like I'm going to feel a bit stressed by all this. I've got a huge stack of books that I don't know where I'm going to go with it. I'm kind of thinking short books might be strategic, but I don't know. I don't really pick books that way, but it just feels like it might be time to do that. I keep looking at things like My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I'm like, oh, I can't put that on my food bar again.
It's so good. My Heart is a Chainsaw is one of my favorites, and there is an audiobook, and I listened to it on Scribd first, and it's a fantastic audiobook. So like,
yeah, that could be an option, because then I can kind of run it the whole month, can't I? And I find that I can get through longer books that way. Oh, I am tempted. Is it really miserable though? Am I going to feel like sad and depressed as I'm reading it, or is it?
It's not. It's
because I don't horror sometimes. I'm going to feel too sad.
No, it's a love letter to horror, the horror genre and the slasher genre. And like, it's really wonderful because you know that Stephen Graham Jones like knows the genre. It kind of in a weird way that was why I like Mina and the Undead with you, because you know vampires, right? And when you see an author know what they're talking about and know their genre, it makes the whole reading experience 10 times better. So, like, that's why I love My Heart is a Chainsaw, because it's fabulous.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think sometimes you can plow in as an author and not know the genre you're writing, and it's kind of okay because you can forge your own path. But I think that what I try and do, sorry, my Nightmare Before Christmas clock singing. I don't know if you can hear it in the background playing This Is Halloween. It's just distracting me. Okay, sorry, just revealing my true spooky self. You know, this is what I tell.
It's not a reveal. We already knew.
No, it's like totally shocking to you. I know. But yeah, so as I was saying, I think some authors like genuinely like. I think Stephanie Meyer was saying she didn't read that much vampire stuff. She just had this idea. But I think that Stephen Graham Jones, I really liked The Last Final Girls of his. Is that right? I always get the Final Girly ones mixed up, but yeah, that one. I just love the fact that it played with all the slasher tropes, and he obviously just really knew them. And I kind of try and do that as well. And obviously succeeded, according to you. So thanks, Lizzie. But yeah, it's fun. I like tropiness and kind of leaning into it and messing around with them. So yeah, I'm tempted to read that. It's just making my list even longer though. So. Who knows? I don't know. Right, I'm going to just see what Caroline has to say about Vampathon. Yeah, I find reading challenges really fun. Which one did I do properly? I did Camp Spookathon, tried to do it properly, but ended up getting murdered because I lost the book that I was reading at a crucial moment.
Oh no.
And couldn't finish it in time. I have tried to do other ones as well, but I don't think I've ever stuck through the month. So I might try and take it really seriously in October and concentrate, although I am going to Disney Paris halfway through October, so that will be really fun. So my toddler's first experience of it is going to be the full-on spooky experience. He already knows the word spooky, he's familiar with all the spooky things in the house, so I think he'll be okay. Well, I kept showing him t-shirts, and he was like, "No, too spooky." So I'm gonna have to convince him to wear something spooky. There was a Mickey one in Sainsbury's that had a little Mickey spooky face, and he was like, "Too spooky, mummy, too scary." So I'm going to have to ease him into wearing the spooky stuff. I think that looking at it might just have to be enough for this time.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to take a ton of books to Paris with me as well. But I would have been doing that anyway, regardless of the fonts and stuff. All right, so let's just go through the last couple of comments. Academic rivals is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, I haven't read that much romantic stuff recently, so maybe you need to tell me some. Like, I can't remember what the title was of the book that you said you're reading. Please, if I've gone off before you get a chance to tell me, please message me and tell me what it is, because I think after spooky season, I'm going to need to like read some really light, fluffy things for a few weeks just to kind of. Do you ever read like light, fluffy stuff? I know you're a bit more like me. Both of you kind of skewed towards the spookier side of things. Do you read like lighter stuff in between?
Oh yeah, I love contemporary romance. It's like a very big parallel. I'll read like something scary and then I'll love fluffy stuff as well. So
yeah, are you similar, Lizzie? Do you like a mixture?
No, I don't tend to like contemporaries. I'm getting more into romance, but unfortunately, like the stuff that I read like in between tends to be I'm gonna really expose myself here, but like Katie Roberts and like
yeah,
her villain stuff, like that's just it's hardcore smart, like it's a lot. But like for some reason that is much more my speed than some of the fluffy romances. I think fluffy romances are
Nothing
great.
wrong with that.
Is great. I just don't get the same enjoyment from them then, like, because I'm quite into high fantasy and like horror and thriller. Like those are more my speed. But yeah, I think it's great to have the contemporary, because there are times when I'm just like, I don't want to use my brain and try and understand these 6 different languages, and I don't want to read this really high sci-fi book. What's on the shelf? Oh, Heartstopper, great.
yeah.
I think with romance, as long as I know what I'm getting, I'm okay. But if I'm expecting something smutty and it's really pure and clean, I just can't deal with it, because I'm like reading like where are these sexy scenes? So I think as long as somebody says to me, this is smut or this is like pure virtuous kind of sweet fun, then I'm fine. If I get it wrong though, like I remember when I read 50 Shades of Grey, somebody told me they thought I'd like it because it was a werewolf book, and I went into it thinking it was a werewolf book. So I spent the whole book like going, come on, where are the werewolves? Where are the werewolves? I think they saw grey in the title and were like, grey, firm. Amy will like that. So yeah, I do feel burned by things like that.
What a mistake to make.
I know. I did. There was somebody I used to work with, and like 30% into the book, I went to her and I was like, have you read 50 Shades of Grey? And she went, no. Why? I was like, I think you might have recommended the wrong book to me. But yeah. So I do tend, if I'm reading romance, I tend to like, I don't like reading that many reviews before I've seen a book. Like I like YouTube because I feel like it doesn't spoil too much for me, because I can just kind of take in bits from what people say. But I tend to, if it's romance, I'm like, I'm going to just read a bit about this book and make sure I know what I'm getting.
See, I recommended my mum a book, right? Right. And I hadn't read it, right? I just need to preface it. And then I read it and I was like, oh my God. What does my mother think I read? Because it was one of those moments, and I'll just say it was Nevernight by J. Christoph. I was like, my mom likes it. Okay. She loves it. Oh, there's a really there is smut from the outset, and I wasn't expecting this, and I was just like, my mom was like, oh, I really like that book. I was like, oh God. Like, it was fine. Like my mom is really open about that sort of stuff, but you know, like she's still my mom. I was mortified because I was like, no, I tend to give my mum like, you know, high fantasy stuff. Like the last thing I'd recommended her was Legendborn, because I loved that, and the Arthurian legend she loves. And then I just casually drop in some with, you know, sexual content in it and go.
I tend to tell my mum like exactly what she's getting, because she's not that into swearing, and she like the really super steamy stuff I don't think she'd like. So I tend to give her like a real like list of, this book has the F word in it, will that be okay? This book, like, it fades to dark, so you'll probably be all right with that. So yeah, I tend to give my mum the real rundown. But yeah, she does occasionally, she reads past me in a series, because she reads a lot faster than I do. And she's like, what happened in book 12? I'm like, no, don't tell me. I don't care if it's sexy than you're expecting. I don't care if somebody used the F word. I just don't want to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, because my mum's retired, so she's like, she reads so much. It's amazing. Yeah. Sorry, that was just like a total mum tangent there, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. I can go down a mum tangent too. I adore my mum. I spent most of today with her, plus toddler, plus my dad. yeah, a good wholesome day, and then we come and start talking about smut. That's just how life works, doesn't it? Fine, everybody fine. I don't think we can beat that, so I think we maybe should just end there. Make that the last thing that anyone is going to remember about us tonight.
Oh, derailed the sprint, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Woo!
No, I love being like sent. That's why I like these things, because it's not scripted. Nobody sends you like questions in advance and stuff. Like, you never know what you're going to discuss, and it's always just really fun. I think, you know, when you're younger and you meet people like, and they become like friends of convenience just because you're in the same class and stuff. I love it about YouTube that you can just meet people that you genuinely immediately have an interest in common, and it's just it's great, isn't it? Like, I try and talk to like about books as intensely as I do online to people in real life, and they're like, okay, we talk about something else maybe. But yeah, so it's great. Thank you. I knew I'd have a lovely time chatting to you both. Like I said, I already felt that we knew each other. We sort of did through messages and stuff. But
Yeah.
I felt from watching you both on YouTube that we'd kind of already talked loads. So. Yeah, I knew it would be fun. So I hope you will come back and join me on some sprints in future. It seems like we're probably going to be doing some during spooky season together, whether it's Spoopathon ones or Gothtober ones or Vampathon, or I'm just going to be like thonned out by the end of the month. Just need to not do any readathons for ages. I think Kasha's doing one in November actually, so maybe I'll do one just for Kasha because she's awesome. As we know, she's like the most hardworking person ever, having a YouTube channel and a job.
2 scripts.
Translating. I mean, she has a day job, a full-time day job, and then is translating these scripts.
Oh, God.
So, like, extra job. She's just like the most hardworking
Crazy.
person. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you people in the comments. Oh, we've already seen that one. I'm going to hide that again. I don't think there's been any new comments, so it might be a good point to end there. And I can see the numbers dropping as people like go to bed. So let's do the same. You go and finish your book, Lizzie. I will continue doing my edits. Lotti, you're a mystery, so you haven't told what you're doing yet. You do whatever you're planning to do next.
I'll probably read some more.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just like busted the mystery for everyone now. Mystique gone. Okay, well, thank you, you two. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone, for
Amy.
watching. And I think I'm doing this next week. It's all going to go a bit wrong, I think, during October, because I'm doing all kinds of readathons. So I'll let people know on social media who's going to be joining me, what I'm doing, and I'll definitely be doing lots of readathons in future. I'm readathon on the brain. Lots of reading sprints. I'll be doing lots of reading sprints as well as readathons in the future, because I do love doing these. It's great to chat to people. I'm so productive when I'm on camera and people are scrutinizing me. Like, I know you're probably not looking at me, but it makes me feel like I need to work. So yeah, thank you, you two. You're obviously still going to be on camera together, so we can sort of say bye properly. But bye to everybody for watching us, and I'm going to sign off now. So check us, look up all of our YouTube channels. Lizzie's handle is on her screen, whichever side she's on. Lotti's Library, and you can find me under my name if you want to find any of us. So thanks everyone, and we'll catch you on the next sprint. Bye.
Bye.